Alright, what's going on guys? Ishing here. I got in my passenger seat my buddy Steve Speed, good friend of mine. He's got a Lamborghini Gallardo and a
no one cares about that. Here in my garage.
And today I'm in the Lotus Exige S, and I can't thank Steve enough for letting me drive this car, because this has been one of the dream cars I always wanted to drive. I'm not kidding. It was never, no offense, the Lamborghini Gallardos or like the Ferrari 660 Spiders. I always wanted to drive a Lotus Exige S.
See the amusement on my face? Do you? Do you?
The reason why is because I like the cars that are smaller, lighter, with less horsepower, and have just as much fun as you would in a high horsepower car.
Well, yeah, because you're Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. But anyways, this is 2007.
Yeah, 2007 Lotus Exige S S220. It has aero, which you'll see on Ishin's exterior video later. That makes it look like a cup car, but it is in fact just a standard Exige S220.
And then the car is making around 200 horsepower at the wheels?
Around somewhere around there.
Yeah, and then but the thing is, this car weighs less than 2,000 pounds. So the power to weight ratio, although 200 horsepower might not sound like much, it's gonna feel like a go-kart. And left here?
Yeah.
No rain right now?
Yeah.
We're literally driving through grass. So first thing I would say is that clutch is actually not at all a hard clutch. It is very easy to initiate. It's your neighbor. It's like there's that guy again.
Yeah,
Orange
yeah.
car. So yeah, I don't think I've ever been in a car this small. I mean, this cramped, this claustrophobic. You hear claustrophobic?
Oh no, I don't.
This car probably wouldn't work for you. Everything is pretty much straight to the point, like a go-kart. You look in the dash, you got the RPM, gas, and speed. All the essential stuff, none of the bullshit, right?
And the gas gauge is literally a whole bunch of like 8-bit blocks. Like,
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's like flashback to the 90s.
It might be an insult to the 90s. So they called up Nissan from the 1980s and was just like, yeah, you know that sweet instrument cluster you had in the 300ZX? Can we borrow like 1/5 of that and put it inside of our gauge panel?
Yeah, seriously. This bright orange, tiny go-kart looking car with huge aero must draw a lot of attention, doesn't it?
I don't know which one draws more attention, this or the Lamborghini.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a toss-up, just mainly because this is so different.
Yeah, nobody knows, well, I wouldn't say nobody, but I don't think many people, I mean, people don't even know what a Lamborghini is, right? They look at any orange car and say, oh, it's a Lamborghini, it's a Ferrari, whatever.
I've gotten Ferrari, Maserati, Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo kind of makes sense.
And this thing, everyone's just like, what is it? And I was like, well, it's a Lotus Exige. And they're like, a what? I'm like, it's a small boutique British car manufacturer. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they have no idea. And that's what's so cool about Lotus. I mean, there's not many of these at all in the world. And whenever you see it, you know the guy got it to drive the thing, for the most part that is. This car has single wiper blade up front on the windshield. That alone screams race car right there. And you're looking at rear view mirror, you literally cannot see anything because there's a supercharger scoop right up the rear window. So I don't even know why they put this rear view mirror here, because it is completely useless. But so far it is very comfortable, and this one has what, Nitron suspension? Nitron
Pro V3 coilovers, or 3-way adjustable coilovers.
Okay.
So the more expensive set, essentially. It's not like Nitron's absolute most top of line coilover. I believe there is another set yet above that as well.
Okay.
But this one, the ride is completely fine for the street. I mean,
yeah,
the car,
it's extremely comfortable.
Yeah, the seat
very well.
The seat gets a little old if you're not as small as you are after a little while.
You just call me small?
Yeah. You are.
I don't know. I'm 6 foot tall, by the way.
Yeah, you're 6 foot tall, but you're...
Yeah, it's pretty clamped up in here. But I guess I could be like a 6'2".
Well,
I'll be hitting the...
Your hair makes you 6'2".
Yeah, exactly. My JDM hair right here. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the engine here. The engine in here is the 2ZZ engine, not the 2JZ that all of you are probably familiar with. It is a 1.8 liter. That's it.
One thing that is weird to note about this specific engine is because it is from a Toyota Celica, Pontiac 5, Toyota Matrix.
Pontiac 5 of all the cars. It's the same engine.
I mean, you know,
Lotus Exige.
It happens. It happens.
How crazy is that?
But it doesn't sound bad. Whereas
Right.
most 1.8 liter engines sound like absolutely terrible, and you don't want to be seen in them at any time. Whereas this actually kind of sounds like a little mini Grand Prix car.
So it is basically stock 2 ZZ engine with a supercharger mounted on top. So if you actually blow up this engine, you can go to a Toyota dealership and pick up a brand new 2ZZ engine for like $1,500, the block and the head. It's got the same cams, it's got same internal components, same head. It's just got a Lotus ECU or Lotus tuned ECU, and it's supercharged, and that's what makes this car scream like a race car. Transmission in here is another thing I love about this car, because it's a 6-speed manual. Too many cars in modern day come with paddle shifters and DCT transmissions. While it's great and quick, I'm a very analog guy when it comes to cars and having fun in cars. I don't want any of the electronic stability control stuff. I want it to be mechanical, manual, engaging experience that requires driver input. And this transmission is also built by Aishin, the Japanese company that builds transmissions. So
It's built by Ishin Technology.
Ishin or Aishin. So if you think about this car, other than the fact that it's a Lotus shell, it's a Toyota basically. And drivetrain components the cheapest and probably the most reliable part of the car, while the chassis, the carbon fiber pieces and whatnot are the most expensive things to replace.
It has a little more grip than when we were out last time too, if you know.
Yeah, so yeah, this car is on Toyo R888s right now,
and it's about 50 degrees out.
Yeah, it's less than that, man. It's like 40 degrees.
Yeah, the steering is unbelievably direct. It has a little bit of a dead spot in the absolute center, which would be called on center feel, but I believe that is actually due to the tires and the fact that it's a manual rack, because you do have a lot of problems with manual racks and on center feel at times.
I mean, I gotta say though, driving this car in traffic is a little scary. I saw driving like a Miata or my Datsun was scary because it's such a tiny car, and I know I'll get crushed right away.
Yeah, but those aren't worth 50 grand, which is
yeah. So that value added, plus like how clustered I feel inside, I'm like super scared driving this thing in traffic.
Well, I mean, Ishin is just bringing us closer together.
Yeah, right. So yeah, we were saying earlier, because it's so clustered in here, this would be like a perfect car you could take on your first date, because the girl wouldn't have a choice, or the guy, whatever you're into, wouldn't have a choice but sit right next to you. Here's a corner. Yeah, you handle those corners like nothing. Like it's nowhere near its limits. Like it's cold out, tires look hard, but I can take corners at 2-3 times the speed of regular cars, and it takes it no problem. So alright, let's do a quick second gear pull here. Yeah, that sounds amazing, and the GoPro came off. Yeah, this thing screams for 1.8 liter. It sounds so good. Like, I can't think of any other 1.8 liter car that sounds this good. But then what's funny with this is you don't hear the supercharger at all.
No,
so,
you don't.
Like,
you have to listen for it. You can hear a hint of it.
Yeah, it sounds like a NA car, honestly, and it pulls like the power band is very linear as well. Like I'm in 4th gear right now, step on it, and it would just pick up like it's a V6 car.
There's the 220, which is what this is, the 240, which is getting more towards the cup car, and then the 260. So a lot of people put the 260 scoop on, and that's actually how you can tell the difference is how long the scoop is on top of the hood. Because if you go with the higher horsepower, you actually have to extend the scoop to get enough air. So you can get these things up to 260-ish at the crank, 220 to 240 at the wheels, which is a crazy amount of power for these cars.
It's crazy amount of power. I can't imagine. That's like having 40 more wheel horsepower to the way it's set up today. God, these brakes are amazing too.
Yeah, so these are two-piece full floating rotors on here. So that's why, like, if you guys can hear on the video, you'll hear hear kind of like almost like a marbly sound, that's actually the rotors shaking on themselves.
I see. God damn, this thing, it feels so good around the corners. Literally turns like a gold coin. Wow. For being a motor city, there's absolutely no corners. So to feel the suspension, I kind of have to go into a parking lot and drive in circles. Like an autocross car or something.
Hey, autocross is fun.
Autocross can be fun.
Yeah, it can
in the
be
right
fun.
car. Like in a car like this, autocross would be amazing. Jesus, this thing sounds so good.
Now you can kill the squirrel.
Oh, you actually have like a main horn.
Yeah, no, we actually have a horn.
Yeah, it's actually like a good sounding horn. The horn in my Datsun is like just a joke. Like every time I hit it,
You're just like, oh, sorry.
it's like I didn't mean to touch that. It's like a Ferrari horn. Like it's like a high pitch bitch horn that doesn't do anything.
The Lamborghini's horn is literally out of a Passat.
Is it?
Yeah, it is literally a Passat's horn.
Yeah. I feel like a Paul Walker in Eclipse. Oh my god, that grip! If I was in my Evo, I'd be doing donuts. Oh my god, this thing sticks.
Oh, you're not even anywhere near it.
Holy crap!
And it has a lot of lift off oversteer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, no, it handles great, man.
So the thing is that about I don't know specifically when the aero kicks in, but I've felt the aero load help on cornering before, and it just you can just give it more and more and more and go faster and faster and harder. So like you actually get to like mid corner and it wants more steering and more throttle.
Oh my god. This car is for sale, you said?
Yeah,
right?
the post just went live last night. It's on Craigslist and Facebook. We're probably going to have it on Auto Trader and eBay by the end of the weekend. I think this still.
Oh my god, dude, it sounds so good. It sounds like a race car, man.
Oh yeah, no, it does. That's kind of like the whole point behind this Lotus is that it is a race car for the road. Yeah, those are a joke, aren't they?
What? I just noticed that there's a window visor here that doesn't do anything. It was blocking
I think
the
it is
lights.
literally there to hold the sticker that says death or serious injury can occur for putting a child's seat in the front.
So yeah, the car is for sale for $46,000. I'll put the link in the video description below. But I literally offered Steve to trade my Evo, my certain BRX7, and the R6 for this car. And I'm not joking, dude.
I know you're not joking.
I'm gonna trade.
I'm just the caretaker of this car, as I am with many cars. You're gonna have to talk to John about that.
Yeah, so John, consider my offer. I'll take really good care of it at the tracks. So another cool thing about this car is the fact that because it's so small, it consumes less gas, it consumes less tires, and the tires are what, like 205s up front, like 225s up front, and
$600 a set.
Yeah, $600 a set in a
Like,
car that's this fun, and then brake pads and brake rotors also cheap.
You just can't stop doing that.
I can't, dude. Like whoever designed the exhaust system and tuned the sound needs to be hired at every single company and make their 1.8 liter sound this good. It really sounds that amazing.
I wouldn't mind a 4-cylinder future if everything sounded this fantastic.
Yeah, dude, like I wish my Evo sounded like this. I love the fact that the lights are just switches.
Yeah.
It's just like a toggle switch. Just hit it, comes on, nice and simple, straight to the point.
Well, one of the engineering comments about this car, which is cool, is that the dash is completely symmetrical, straight down the middle. So you can actually take the engine start button and the headlight switches, and there's actually, right where I'm sitting, there's an identical panel where those would go on the right-hand drive model.
Oh, no way.
The pedal box is literally, the only difference is that on my side I have like a footrest that you don't, and then you can literally just pop that pedal set in here, pop that gauge cluster and everything in here, and then it's ready for right-hand drive hard hit.
No way. I didn't think about that.
Well, I mean, they don't have a lot of resources, they don't have a lot of overhead, so they had to make sure that when they built one thing, it could be shared across everywhere.
Right.
So,
yeah, and then a lot of OEMs do that with like cheaper, like extremely cheap rental cars. So yeah, that's about it for today, guys. I can't thank Steve enough for lending me a car I always wanted to drive in my life. It has met all my expectations and more. I really want it. It's like, it's true driver's car, and it's unfortunate that not many cars like this exist in 2017. Thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next episode. See you guys.
you totally want to do one more rip, don't you?
Yeah.
Here in my garage with my new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than knowledge?